everyone. I'm Faith Rivera, and here we are on Aloha Rising. I'm coming to you from Honolulu, Hawaii, and we're going to talk mana, that spiritual life force, life energy. We're going to talk music sometimes, magic sometimes, and today we got more. But first, can you hear my voice? Yes, I am a mommy. A mommy, and I caught the bug my family has gotten these past few weeks that has laid them out. So I got my own little light version. So the question is, how do you keep Aloha rising even when you're sick, right? And believe me, it's not I have those bad days too, just laying on my couch. But the most important thing I believe, or the thing you can do is just decide the intention to choose all that's inspiring and nurturing and all that feels good. And that you meaning me, be gentle to myself when you're not at 100%. And another cure, you hang out with the most high vibing people, but you do it by Zoom so you don't make them sick, okay? But what I'm talking about is this high vibing special guest that I have for our Thanksgiving season, for this Thanksgiving season, although it is always Thanksgiving. That's the trick. But let me introduce our guest to you. She's a communications facilitator. She's a conflict consultant, a keynote speaker, an author. As I already said, a speaker, but she's such a great speaker that I'm going to say it again. She's a coach with clients around the world, and she's truly made an impact far and wide. She's been, sharing her message on radio, on TV. She's been on the ground mediating conflict. She has done spiritual work as a minister and, as I said, a coach, and really just a powerful presence, holding space for everyone she comes into contact with to hold the highest and best. So who am I talking about? I'm talking about my friend, my sister in spirit, this amazing light in the world. Her name is Paula Langguth Ryan, and I'm going to welcome her to the stage. Woohoo! We're all going to clap for Paula. Paula.
Thank you.
That's it. How are you, sister, and where are you coming in from? Where are you tuning in from?
I am awesome. I am tuning in from just south of Denver, Colorado, in Inglewood, Colorado.
Ooh, is it chilly?
It is oddly enough not. It has been in the 70s, mid
Man.
and upper 70s the last week and a half, which means heavy snow is coming anytime.
Got it.
The way Colorado is.
Got it. Well, I so appreciate you taking the time to be here with me. It's been so long, and I'm so excited to share you with everyone. Truly.
Thank you. I'm just excited to hang out with you, and everybody else is a bonus.
Yay! Yeah. They're our little icing. Everyone's our little icing. You have so many areas of brilliance. And today, though, I would like to start with highlighting your book that has been pivotal for me, The Art of Tithing. I don't know if you know the story of how it impacted my life, but I just want to share. Early in my career, I had a spreadsheet with my meager earnings, right, in music, and I started to track it. And, I received your book and started practicing, right? And I mean, that's what I loved about is learning how to channel my gratitude in a deliberate way, But once I started doing it and I looked at my spreadsheet, I could not deny the numbers were going up. I think that first year my earnings doubled, and I swear to you, tripled. And I was sold. And so it was so amazing when I met you. We were just talking about that, right? I was
Yes.
and I'm like, you're the lady. I looked at your picture on the book. I was like, I remember. So Paula, can you share, about tithing, especially for those that have never really looked at this concept? Can you share about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I can share how
Yeah.
it started in my life
Yes.
because I wrote the book originally. It was based on I had an Art of Abundance newsletter for years, but I was 21, newly sober in New York,
Wow.
and it was pouring rain. And I ducked into a bookstore, and it was Samuel Weiser's Metaphysical Bookstore, just a few blocks from my apartment.
Yeah.
And, it's pouring rain. I'm a good Midwestern girl. It stops raining. I took shelter. I must buy something from this lovely store.
Oh, so
I'm
nice.
wandering around, and I find this book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. No, it was The Prosperity Secrets of the Ages, I think, the greener one.
Bye.
And I took it home And I opened it up and it was about God. And I was like, yeah, no. And I put it on my bookshelf. And I moved
Whoa.
13 times, Faith, and I kept that book for some reason.
Oh,
And it was, I don't know, early 2000s. And I was, um, you know, editor at a place called Phillips Publishing, now Investor Place. And I had an hour and a half drive home. And I was just like, oh, God, And I could not sleep that night. And I was like, oh, I have to find a book I can read that will put me to sleep. And I'm looking and I was like, oh, that book right there.
that'll
And
put me
so
to.
it's going to put me to sleep. It's about God. And I start reading it. And 5 o'clock in the morning comes around when my alarm goes off and I'm still wide awake reading it. And my entire commute, I kept saying to myself, I am prosperous. I kept saying it out loud. I am prosperous all around the DC Beltway. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. And a few weeks later, they laid me off. And I was
Okay.
like, okay, I am prosperous. I am prosperous. And suddenly they're like, we don't want to pay you any severance pay. And I was like, I am prosperous. I am prosperous.
Were you feeling
And
it, or were you like just holding on
oh,
to?
I was just holding on to space. I was just like, okay, this, she says this works. I'm just doing it. So I kept doing it and I kept doing it. And all of a sudden, they go, instead, what we'd like you to do is we'd like you to write 2 special reports for Jay Abraham, the marketer, Jay Abraham.
Okay.
And we're going to pay you this outrageous amount. And we'll even double that outrageous amount if you get each one in before its deadline. And I was like, on.
Is this a
And
different company or your old company?
no, this was Phillips Publishing. This was
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah. When I worked for an actual employee, that was the last time, other than the television channel I helped found and things like that.
Yes.
And so I did. I said okay, and then I started my publishing company, and it just was like one thing after another.
Wow.
Just grew and grew. But I
And that
decided
was.
right then and there.
Sorry. I said that was the practice, though. At that point, was just saying that one
Yeah,
statement.
I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I am. And my ex, going way back, would follow me around the house and go, I am preposterous. I am preposterous. And now you know why they're my ex.
Oh my God. Okay, that's so. I don't want to say fun, but kind of. Okay,
Yeah, kind of.
you
But yeah,
see
but
it in
that,
action. You see it in action.
yeah,
The
I saw it in action. And
mind
so
frame.
that's how I had learned about unity churches. And I'm an independent unity minister now,
Yes.
after all this time, like for the last, I don't know, 15, 20, probably closer to 20 years now. I think it was
Oh,
2007 that I got ordained. But yeah, I decided to start practicing tithing, and I started tithing to the local Unity Church, and they had no idea who I was. And Judith Ilias was the minister there, and I remember finally going to a concert one Sunday night or something, and I was like, okay. And so I was like, okay, I think I can do a church. I think I can do church service. Let me go. And I kept like going, and then they'd have the receiving line, and I'd sneak out and just be like, great service, and shake her hand, keep going. And one time, it was like the third time there, she shakes my hand, but she doesn't let go. And she
oh,
goes, what's your name again? And I said, Paula. And she goes, what's your full name? And I was like, oh, I'm so screwed.
Lang. Yeah.
But she invited me to, that's how I got into mediation. She invited me to sit in on a board meeting because the church was struggling
But how
financially. And
did she know? How did she know?
well, we got to talking
Oh,
after she outed me as being, hey, Albert, this is the person that's been tithing to at the church.
oh, got it. Got it.
But she sent me a copy of the Daily Word,
Okay.
before we ever actually met like that,
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
in as a gratitude. And I
Yeah.
took one look at it and I'm like, I've seen this magazine before. So my great grandmother on my mom's side was Methodist,
Okay.
and she had 3 publications on the back of her toilet. Reader's Digest. She's in rural Indiana. That's what they
Yeah.
had.
Yes.
Reader's Digest,
Hmm.
Guideposts, and the Daily Word.
Wow.
And I was
Wow.
like, wait, what? Well, that explains, because my great grandmother, I never heard her say an unkind word about
Oh,
anybody.
Oh my gosh.
She was my hero. She was just an
Oh,
amazing woman
oh
with the
wow.
best lap and the biggest big black wooden rocking chair that you ever saw.
And the best collection of toilet books ever.
That's right. I'd add Course in Miracles now as well, but it's a little big.
Yeah. Well, Paula, can I rewind it just a little bit for those
Sure.
maybe tithing, like maybe they've heard it in the Bible, maybe they don't even know what the heck this old fashioned word is. Can we break it down a little bit for them? But
Sure.
I
Absolutely. Yeah.
origin story. I love your origin story. Okay.
So tithing is about giving 10% of whatever you receive back to where you're spiritually fed. Now, I go a bit outside the box when I talk about tithing because it's not just about tithing of your financial resources. And for anybody who's familiar with Stretton Smith, he was a minister. I want to say he was out west somewhere, where he created a course called the 4 T's of Prosperity, which was tithing of your time, your talent, your
Treasure.
treasure, and
I don't know the other
obviously
two.
your tithe. I think was what he
Oh, okay,
called
okay. So the last
the
two.
treasures, meaning possessions as opposed to
Yes.
financial tithe.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Mhm.
I go a bit further. So you tithe of those things, but you also tithe of your words, your actions, and your thoughts. And I
Got
think
it.
thoughts is the biggest, most important. I'm actually working on, it's not my next manuscript, but the one after that is called The Promise of Malachi,
Wow.
based on the story in there about bring all your tithes into the storehouse.
Mhm,
But I
mhm.
can't say more because that gives away
I know the
the
book. Okay.
I know it's a great book.
I can't wait. So
But that's
that's
yeah, but tithing's about more than just giving 10% of your money,
mhm,
but
mhm.
it's a process.
Now, I wonder if you can talk about the intention and the feeling behind it. And why I'm asking
Mhm.
is when I embraced, this practice of tithing, I was and I because I was so gung ho because it was working, I think I was giving like 20% to the centers I was just giving, giving. Well, I had a kind of like a coaching session with Daniel Namod, one of, our amazing
Mhm.
New Thought positive music artists, friends who's really great at business. And I went in and talked with him. And when he heard I was doing that, he just stopped, like scolded me. He goes, wait. He goes, what are you doing? Are you just blindly giving 20%? And I was like, well, what are you doing? And like you said, you're a nice Midwestern girl where I'm a, nice Asian local girl. I was like, oh my God, what I do wrong? And he was kind of what he drew from what I was sharing with him. He said, are you thanking them in the sense of, oh, thank you for letting little old me share my music with, like he had me question, what am I giving from?
Yeah.
Am I, yeah, am I giving from my fullness? So I'll have you talk about that, the intention behind that practice, because it's hard to write that first 10% check.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about that, the realness of this. Yeah.
So I remember years ago, and God bless him because he actually told me that this was what he was charged with doing. But are you familiar with Cash Peters?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
He was on All Things Considered with NPR for years, and he had a travel television show that was like amazing. But he's a
Wow.
really fantastic man. He lives in California now, and he was tasked by um, NPR to basically poo-poo tithing.
Oh,
And so he asked me, he said, so how does tithing work? Why does it work the way, that you say it does? And I said, well, I don't know. I have zero idea. All I know is you have to try it. And if you do it for 90 days and you just give out of gratitude with no strings attached, anything else, and watch what happens. And so he actually did an NPR show. I found it streaming somewhere a while back and listened to it. It was fantastic. Where he was like, so I decided to try it. And so he walks through what his 90 days was like.
wow. That's so
And
cool.
yeah, and how he still doesn't know how it works, but it works.
Yeah.
But it's all about the gratitude and like, why am I giving? Like, so like Daniel pointed out, if you're giving, just be like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you guys had me here.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
give more. I was taking a class at Unity of Raleigh, no, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I had written a tithe check out already that week. And Catherine Ponder, we were pen pals. She's still alive. She hasn't gone anywhere yet. But I didn't want to start rumors.
Okay.
But she had sent me something, and I was just so overjoyed. She sent me some advice, and so I immediately just opened up my checkbook and went to write my 10% tithe out, and I was like, oh, I guess this week I'm tithing 20%. Because I'd already tithed once, but it was
Oh,
just what I was guided to do,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's when you follow that guidance and it's not because you're trying to get something or you're trying to thank someone, or my favorite is when someone gives you something and you got to find something to give them back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people who don't do Christmas cards anymore because what if someone I send a Christmas card doesn't send one to me, or what if they send a Christmas card and I don't send one?
That's so weird. I mean, the pureness of the heartful giving is not there. And so I have to say, I didn't realize till now, aside from me, getting blessed by, learning and trying this practice of tithing and seeing the difference in my own life, it really, one, the trust I learned, two, tapping into, really looking at what gratitude is. And there's so much love around it, Paula. Like, let me share just personally when like Empower Music and Arts wrote me a check, or when a church wrote me a check. I mean, growing up Catholic, to have your Catholic church like write you, I mean, like, it's insane. So when I tell people outside of our movement, they're like, wait, what? You get from churches that are and I'm it like you can laugh, and yet I mean I must have cried. I
Yeah,
saved all those cards. Um
yeah,
and you can see how it multiplies and multiplies
and not
beyond.
just in money,
Oh
you
no.
know, connections. You know, I'm going to spend time this afternoon with a mutual friend of ours, Sherry Hersey,
Oh
who
yeah.
just, you know, called me out of the blue, and she was like, I'm flying back from South Carolina on Sunday. You know, I have a 4 hour layover. Will you meet me? I'm like, yes. What airline? You know,
Oh,
it's like-
yes.
but it's like, you know, opportunities. It's like, you know, people who connect you with other people.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like people are always talking about how my family and I have such a charmed life. And it's like, well, all we do is like what my late friend Janet Hall and I did when we toured was, wouldn't it be nice if, you know, wouldn't it be nice if we had some live music? You know, we were staying at a hotel attached to a Waffle House. What are the chances of live music, right?
And then,
And we're sitting there having dinner, and all of a sudden, Janet's like, do you hear live guitar music? And on the
oh,
other side, because it turned out there was a talent show at the hotel at 11 o'clock at night
oh
that
man.
night, and they were rehearsing.
Oh
So
man.
they moved our table over to where they were so we could be a part of the concert. And then another time I was like, man, we have been touring for months, driving around in this little Jeep Wrangler. And Janet goes, oh, wouldn't it be nice if when we get to wherever we were going that day, if we could find a place to get a massage? So the
Oh.
guy who picks us up at the airport, because we're speaking at some sort of holistic center, and he
Mm-hmm.
goes, oh, by the way, ladies, if either one of you are interested, I'm in the massage program and I need more, you know, bodies to have worked on. So I wanted to give each of you a free massage if you're interested.
Girl. Okay, so your book title really could be The Art of Tithing Equals Blessed Life or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think it's got a fun subtitle, something about that, like harnessing the power of giving thanks and create lasting inner and outer wealth.
No, for real. I
For
mean,
real.
it's funny because it's like tithing, but it's really something that impacts your entire life. And I want to share this is we had so much fun with it that one year, and this is not so huge in the world of like giving, but for us, at that point it was a lot. I had this thing. Did you know I threw something called the Pay It Forward concert? And we rented
I vaguely remember that.
a long
Yes.
time ago. We go way
We,
back. We
we
go,
go back almost decades now.
yeah, yeah. First edition of this book. Okay. What edition are we on, by the way? What edition are we?
This is the 15th anniversary edition.
Holy mama. Okay. So that means, guys, you guys are getting like the up leveled version when you buy it. Okay. Anyway,
Yes.
my story is we rented, I think it was called the Hollywood Theater. I got a band. I mean, meaning I hired a band. I got all of my friends to come and perform. I got all my friends that had nonprofits that did work to share their stories in between. And I paid everyone $5 to come. And we
Nice.
filled it. I don't know if there were 100, 200 people. And it sounds so insane, but Paula, you can attest to this, is it's like I can't outgive the universe, you
No,
know?
not at all.
Okay.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. And, you're not even really talking about it because I feel like you're just in the flow. But what I try to share with everyone listening is that practice, it's the practice that leads to the whatever
Yes.
up leveled experience. And I think if you're looking at Paula, look at her, look at how chilled she's just laughing, saying she's blessed. I think at a certain point, the practice just becomes your life, that then
Mhm.
it's not practice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
recognizing that the universe is always conspiring for your highest good. That was something I learned from Catherine Ponder. And
Yeah.
like I don't know what year it was, but I went to my first ever Unity Congress or conference that they had in Kansas City at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just come out with the book, and Harriet Villiard, who was a Unity minister out of Michigan, we're at this Rags to Riches, Catherine Ponder's autobiography had just come out too. So they were doing this prosperity luncheon.
Okay.
And I said, can I just bring copies of my book to give away to people? And they're like,
Yeah.
absolutely. So they gave one to everybody. And I said, I was putting together a study guide. So the version you have doesn't have the study guide, right?
Yeah.
And Harriet Villiard just sits back and she goes, well, I certainly hope that you're not doing one of those study guides like everybody else does that says, you must give 10% to the church that you're having the class at. And I was like, note to self, let's sit down and rewrite that study guide before we put it in the book. Because it's a graduated study guide. It's
Got
once
it.
every time you get together. So whether it's weekly or monthly or whatever, you go up another 1% till you get your whole 10%.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't give it to this. It's not a class where you give it to the church and then
Mm-hmm.
they give 10% to the person who wrote the book. It's give to
Yeah.
where you're spiritually fed.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't care if that's the homeless guy on the corner that you've passed every single week. And one
Mm-hmm.
day you just go, oh, thank God that I have a roof over my head.
Yeah.
I'm going to tithe to that person because I'm grateful for that.
Ugh,
Not giving to him because he's homeless, giving
yes.
to him because him being there in that moment made me feel immense gratitude.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And it just keeps amplifying that gratitude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So where do people start? I mean, I know one, they should buy this newest 15th anniversary edition. That would make the best,
With
guys.
a foreword by Catherine Ponder, I might add.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I hear.
I'm the only living author she has ever written a foreword to. She wrote a foreword to Science of Mind
Yes,
eons ago, but my book is the only book she ever wrote a foreword to because she said the world needed it.
because it does.
Yeah.
I mean, now I'm thinking, because Paula, I was already thinking, I need to get my Christmas list done. And I'm like, everyone listening, this is an amazing gift, not only for Thanksgiving season, which is all the time, but for the holidays.
Yeah.
Truly, truly. So, but my question was, I mean,
Mhm.
yes, they buy the book, but how is there, a few steps they could do already to start getting themselves in the zone?
Oh, yeah. I would say, like I tell people, even if they don't feel like they have any money, you
Hmm.
know, how much change do you have around the house?
Yeah.
What would 10% of that be? Or even just start with 1%. If I've got $1, where can I give a penny?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where can I give? There was a guy who was taking I used to teach a 10-week study guide course and did a podcast type thing before there were podcasts. And he said, I decided to put this money toward a debt. It was like several weeks into the class because he freaked out. He was like, oh my God, and all of a sudden everything dried up and he goes, what do? I don't have the money anymore to tithe. And I said, well, what do you have in
Mhm.
abundance of? And he said, I have bookcases and bookcases of self-help books. I
Wow.
said, if you close your eyes, take a deep breath, where would you want to give 10% of those books? And he goes, there's a homeless man's shelter
Oh,
just a few blocks from here. He said, I'm going to box them up and take them there right now. And he did. And like literally the next day, like he'd been expecting this raise that had been delayed. All of his sales stuff had dried up. All of a sudden, the very next day, it was just like this outpouring
yes.
of, because
Yes.
it's the energy. Everything, I don't care if it's my pair of glasses, my watch, my book, my headset,
Mhm.
the shirt I'm wearing, it's all the same energy.
Yes.
It's gratitude. Can I be grateful for what I have?
Well, and the circulation piece that I
Mm-hmm.
never understood. You always hear it in all the talks, and you're like, it's the in breath and the out breath. If you were just holding your breath, everyone's got it.
You pass out, but you'll start breathing again.
Yeah, yeah. But there's when you first start, though, you really step into whether you want to call it faith or trust,
Yeah.
because as you said,
But
the
I
universe
but I would say step into gratitude. If you step into
is
gratitude, all it is a kind word.
better.
My favorite thing to do at the grocery store, at the post office, or whatever, is to get in line and then turn to the person behind me. And I don't care if they have 14 huge packages. And I just say, please go ahead of me. And they're like, oh, no, no, no. I said, no, I said, I've been sitting all day. I really would just love to stand a little longer. So please go ahead of me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I love it.
stop and ask somebody, are you okay?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, or make a joke, smile at something, just say, oh my gosh, you are like so I live, technically I live about a mile and a half from my home because after I quit, after the television station folded the channel and everything, and I went ahead and closed up my mediation firm and
Oh,
a bunch of other things and decided I'm just going to write. Well, I get up at 2 a.m. to write,
wow.
and we had downsized.
Got it.
And so my family banished me to Taos. It was supposed to be for a year, and I was gone for 18 months until my son was like, I'd like you back for my senior year. I'm like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to literally just um, to say, look, let me give you this, and so they gave me that gift of writing.
Oh my
And
God,
in
Paula.
18 months, I put out three, but I almost killed myself. I was like, I am writing every moment of every day. It's like a
Wow.
junkie who hadn't had her fix in a long time. I was like, okay,
Wow.
pace yourself every 2 years, every 18 months is what the team at G&D and I came up with, was every 18 months now, because I did 3 books in 18 months. And I was like,
Wow. You're
yeah,
striking a chord with me. I mean, this is another topic, but
yeah.
for a lot of my career and my life as a music artist, and I've changed it, but it used to be this image of a faucet that had to be turned off, right? Because
Oh,
we're
yeah.
doing
We're
other
just
things.
flowing. We're doing.
But because there's still that part of me, like, and I'm doing it more and more. I'm so blessed, and I live in Hawaii, But there was a time where I felt like, oh my God, they're just all these things I want to create are backed up in me, And so I'm really taking a note, just for me personally, of allowing for that space. We have so much to
Yeah.
talk about. Let me
And
start.
I'm,
Go ahead.
well, I'm thinking it's more like, so I've got like 17 books in the queue, right? So I'm sure it's got the same thing, projects. Like I told you about my Jesus as a traveling salesman musical idea. I was like, I've had this
Yes.
forever. But it's
Yes.
it's literally like with their fine wines. There are some that we're going to uncork this year and celebrate and enjoy. And there's
Yeah.
some that it's going to be another 25 years. I'm
Yeah.
planning on living to 120, and I just turned 61. So
Let's do it, baby.
I'm
I'm with you.
I'm finally middle aged.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to own that.
Yeah. So it's just it's like they're not on. They're not. We're never going to get to them. It's, oh, when the time's right,
Yes.
we're going to get to
Yes.
that. Like my next book wasn't
Yes.
even on my radar, but
Got
my
it.
son and all of his friends were like high school dating issues. And I was like, okay, because I wrote How to Manifest the Perfect Mate.
Got it. Got it. But now the
And I was
young
like,
one.
yeah. So I was like, so I called a friend of his, Bridget, who they were in theater together.
Uh-huh.
And I said, Bridget, if you and some of your girlfriends were in a bookstore and
Uh-huh.
you were looking for a relationship book, what title would jump off the shelf at you? And, this is a kid who, like, 3 days later, she'll usually text me. It was about 2 minutes later, and she texted me and she goes, "They're not the one."
Yeah.
Thank you. And I took it into meditation and I called her up and I was like, Bridget, would you write this book with me? And so
Oh,
she and she's 18, she just started college, are writing a book called They're Not the One. It's a teenage guide to healthy
ah,
relationships.
this is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This, okay, this show is usually around 30 minutes, but I don't care. I just want to talk to you for like 5 hours about everything.
Okay. As long as I'm in a lift by 3:30 my time, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, wait. So I'm gonna go back just a little bit
Yes.
because I have a personal question for me, and then I promise we're gonna move on. But this is so good.
Every question we have is for the universe anyway. So,
You're right. You're right. So here's the funny thing: is in my practice now with this tithing thing is I love looking for where that inspiration is. And I have this, we're a part of a band. I'm part of a band here in Hawaii, a 4-piece band called Solux. I'm with these like 20 something year olds. We're writing old school pop R&B. And we've been having, really some great response and success, even on the mainland with music supervisors. It is truly a dream come true. I've called them in to collaborate. And so they inspire me so much. And Paula, sometimes I think when I go to tithe, I'm like, am I just cheating because I'm giving it to them? But they inspire me. Sometimes my own
you
husband,
give where you're spiritually fed, whatever
even
that is.
and my
Oh, yeah,
kid, I'm
absolutely.
not
Hmm.
cheating.
No,
Okay.
yeah. Ego wants to say, "Oh, that's cheating. That's keeping in the family."
Yeah.
Okay, let me pretend they aren't part of my family. Would I give to them? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not because he's blood related. I just how I feel when I'm with them.
Yeah.
It's everything. Okay, good. You
They
have
inspire.
stamp of approval.
The Paula Langguth. I'll even have, I have certificates that I can give out to people that say, "You now have permission."
Oh my God. Yeah, sell those on your, whatever.
I hereby grant you permission.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it weird? The
Yeah.
ego wants to come in and play all this. So, okay, now we have two more sections, but I want to bring this part in.
Tell me.
Oh, how do I say it? Well, yes, I'm going to do it around here. Okay, I read something that you said that, yes, you have this list of, and it's a long, long list of these outer accomplishments. And yet, you said it's been your inner transformation that has meant
Mhm.
the most to you. So as we move into this
The
aha section, which is the takeaway, I don't know, what's your takeaway for you, I guess, in these recent years? And then maybe aha for others.
Ooh. To
Aha.
honor myself. So I first wrote, I was writing all the time when I was little. I would write short stories and type them on my mom's typewriter, which unfortunately once had the contract that she was typing up for my dad's company. And I
Oh,
just typed right over it. So I got my own
ooh,
typewriter.
got
Like,
it. Look,
oopsie.
look how you
Um,
did that. Okay.
yeah. But I like wrote a short story in like third grade, and my vocabulary has always been really big.
Yeah.
And the teacher thought I plagiarized it.
Oh, how
So they brought my parents in, and he was like, my dad was like, okay, so give me a topic, any topic. And so it was like, how the pomegranate seed or how the tomato seed got its, became a tomato. Or I don't remember what it was
yeah, yeah.
because I wrote in college language. I mean, I read To Kill a Mockingbird when I was 8. So my
Holy
dad came in the room and mom was like, she's reading it. He goes,
dang.
do you know what that book's about? And I gave him a synopsis. He goes, okay. And he left the room.
Wow.
So I just sat there and wrote right in front of the teacher and handed it in. She was like, oh, okay. And, I was always in publishing. I was a newspaper reporter. I had a syndicated book review column, a syndicated movie column. I became the editor of the Baltimore Alternative in Baltimore. But while I was the editor there, one of my dearest friends. He would teach writing classes at St. John's College in Annapolis. My dear friend Robert Drake was gay bashed in Ireland.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I had just had, like, literally, I got the notice of him being beat up and the box with Hers 3, which was brilliant fiction by lesbian writers. And I had written a story that he had tricked me into sending. He was like, I just need a sample for Faber and Faber. Send me your story. And he'd already rejected two others and two other editions. And so I was like, fine. And they published it.
Oh my
But
God.
when he got beat up, because he was my biggest fan, he was the one who always worked with me through honing my writing and stuff. And I
Mhm.
just stopped writing fiction.
Oh,
And then I started, speaking. And then I started mediating. And then I started doing business consulting. And then I started being a minister. And then I became a mom. And, so I just found any excuse to let go of writing.
huh.
And
That,
so when the television channel closed in what was it, 2018 maybe?
wow. New
But
Thought
I
Channel.
realized, yeah, New Thought Channel. But I realized the whole point of it, because everybody was like, "Oh," I was like, "No, you don't understand. We created a streaming television channel that got
Um,
the best and brightest and even the smallest, amazing ministers to start recording their sermons on
yes.
video. And then what happened 2 years later?
Uh-huh. That was huge. Yeah.
A lot of people would not have had their churches still
Uh-huh.
because they wouldn't have had
The
the
scale
system
or
already, the infrastructure set up for recording and
you're
even
right.
recording live. So it was fantastic.
Mhm.
But then I was like, okay. So I kept the publishing arm of the channel, New Thought Channel Press, and Mitch Horowitz was our biggest author. We'd done these workshops that we turned into books and stuff, and we were editing his last one. And he says to me, he goes, "Okay, anything else?" And just out of the blue, I said, "Yeah, I'm going to close the publishing company and turn everybody's titles over to them." He was like, I don't want my titles, but I don't want to be in charge of publishing. I don't want. And so I said, well, why don't you ask Jill's Dana of Gildan Media,
Mhm.
now G&D Media, if he would take them, if he'd be interested. And I said, if he wants the entire library, feel free.
Wow.
And literally, I went to the bathroom. I came back. I'd had a phone call, a text, and a email from Jill saying, "I'd like to talk to you." And so he took over my entire catalog, published the books. Like my late friend Janet Hall and I were working on a book on it was called Effortless Freedom from Clutter and Debt. Now it's Eliminate Clutter and Debt in 30 Days or something.
Okay.
They changed titles.
Yeah, yeah.
And but he one day just said to me, because I sent him a proposal for something, and he goes, "Paula," he says, "I don't care what you want to write. I want to be your publisher for any book you want to send us."
Wow.
And so we've been working together ever since then on that. And like, that's all I'm doing. Like, I do some financial help, for finance marketing and things like that for my wife's landscape company. But other
Mhm.
than that, I basically, sometimes I'll give unsolicited advice to people about their business.
Yeah.
Well, if you're having a problem with cash flow, have you thought about this?
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah, so I was just like, I am going to write. That's it.
Yeah.
And so far I've been working just on books. I'm now working on some Substack stuff. It's like Medium for cool people. Um, if you're not familiar with Substack.
No, I need to talk and be taught by you so many things. Well, you don't even know, my mind's just running. I'm like, oh my God, I want to ask you about this and this and that. So, okay, everyone, did you get all those billions of ahas? You
But
know,
that was my aha, was I am supposed to write,
yeah.
period.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
now I'm going to have to talk with you off screen because I'm like, yeah, I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be here for too, is to, to create in that way. And yet the universe has come in with a really left field thing. Well, those listening in know a little. So we won't talk about this long time, but I'm
Mhm.
about to go in a few days to the Big Island to be with a kahuna, actually, a shaman, a Hawaiian shaman, who apparently chose me in 2011, unbeknownst to me, and asked me even then to Oli, which is the special Hawaiian chanting that I'm meant to do for the world. And I rejected it, but kind of I ran away from it then. I didn't understand, but I'm about to go there now.
Oh,
And only me, Filipino girl, is going to only Hawaiian in the sacred Hawaiian sites to call in all the kahuna who are there to heal the heartbeat of Hawaii and fulfill a prophecy. I mean, so it's all like,
yes. You're giving me goosebumps, girl. You're giving me goosebumps.
so,
Oh,
so
yes.
So everyone listening, I'm not clear. I don't know what the aha is
Mhm.
for me personally for, all that's unfolding, except for I'm saying yes and watching you, Paula, listening to your story. Can everyone feel it? It's her, it sounds so simplistic, but doing what feels good. It's her feeling her inspiration and saying yes. It's her clearing out, it's you clearing out all that is amazing clutter, right? All these
Yeah.
amazing things you've done that serve their purpose.
Yeah.
And so you're just really kind of sticking a needle at me, going like, well, what is it? And doesn't it have to kind of feel good to me? So I got to have a session with you later. Anyway, so
You betcha.
that's my aha is, just to feel so good saying and to make time. You are making time for the thing that's calling you and makes you feel
Yeah.
good.
And that's
So
what we
now,
have to do at
yeah,
time and space. Like when we downsized from our big
yes,
house,
yeah,
we were like, okay, we got a couple options here because we're moving to a much smaller house.
yeah,
We have huge pieces of furniture. We're clearly going to need another house or we're going to need, storage or whatever. But we had all of this stuff that so many people had given us like fantastic furniture.
yeah,
And we were like, hey, rather than pack up this stuff and get it on trucks and move it to the Ark, or to Goodwill or whatever, or put it in storage or anything else, what if we just let everybody in the neighborhood know that we have these things available and we're
oh,
giving them away for free?
wow,
We had a neighbor come down. We'd have dinner parties. We had a great block. We had a
yeah,
block party every summer. But
oh,
one of our neighbors came down and she was like, "You're seriously giving away your dining room table?"
oh,
We were like, "Yeah, all the chairs, everything." It
wow,
was given to us. It was a $10,000 table that had been given to us.
oh,
And she was like, we were just talking about how we really need to go look for a new dining room table. And she kept that. She was like, seriously, I can't give you any. And then, no, just take it. And so yeah, the
wow,
teenage boys come down and take it. Somebody else's daughter was getting her first apartment. We're like, tell her and her roommates to come by. They can shop here for free. Like
amazing,
here's the kitchen stuff that's going. Here's this that's for free. Here's bookshelves. Here's,
yeah,
you know, just
yeah.
it was literally like if we let go of this, the universe, what's that saying? People always say, well, nature abhors a vacuum. Bull. Nature loves a vacuum. If you abhor something, what do? You're like, I'm staying away from that. No, if you love something, you like try to fill it, right? Oh,
Yes.
I have a vacuum, let me fill it.
Yes.
That's what the universe says.
And we don't even have to know. You
No.
know what I mean? Like, because I found the universe even surprises you even better than what I could have planned.
Yeah. But we went down to Taos 2 Thanksgivings ago,
Yeah.
or no, 2 summers ago, and we
Uh,
all fell in love with it. None of us had been there before.
wow. Yeah.
And so then Sandy and I went back for Thanksgiving the following year. And Sandy was just like, I think you're going to write in Taos for the winter. I was like, great. So I booked an Airbnb and they changed the rules down there that it had to be a minimum 30-day stay. And
Oh,
Sandy was on this New Mexico Taos area real estate Facebook thingy. And she goes, hey, this really cool place popped up, walking distance to everything, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, has 2 fireplaces, great gourmet kitchen. Um, Let me see if she wants to rent it, because it was 30-day rental. She was like, let me see what she would charge if we said we wanted a year's lease. Within 2 hours, we had signed the lease.
oh my
She went on
God.
our website, saw we were real people. She was like, absolutely. And then they renewed it. So we still have it till the end of the year because we have it for 2 years total. So I just go back every time. I'm like, I'm blocked. Pack up the car, drive to Taos,
Oh,
write for a week, come back.
that's amazing. You have your writing house in another state. Okay. Is everyone listening
And my studio here.
to what we can manifest?
Yeah.
I don't know why this isn't me, but I'm like, someone could have their makeup shed or not shed,
Yeah.
whatever, boutique down the road. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I manifested the best headshots I've ever had. Were taken. They were
Yes.
black and white ones on my website. They were taken by Greg Craddock, an amazing photographer here in Denver, who called me up because we lived near City Park at that time
Uh-huh.
in Denver. He goes, my model just canceled. Is there any chance you could come to the pavilion? He was doing a black and white shoot he was teaching shadows,
Uh-huh.
like how to
Yeah.
eliminate shadows and stuff in your photos. And he goes, just wear eyeliner, nothing else. And I showed up in blue jeans and a dress shirt. And to
Uh-huh.
date, those are my best headshots I've ever had taken. And they were
Girl.
free because I
Oh,
showed up for an hour and let them take pictures of me.
this is so okay. So this is like an additional part of your book or another, whatever, a bonus section. You should just list the most coolest stuff that has, bonus.
It would be a very long every day, every
Oh,
day. Okay, so the studio that I'm renting here, that I
yes.
have my couch and my desk and bookcases and my filing cabinets, and it's a great place.
Uh-huh.
Um, one of the bonuses,
Yes.
every weekday from 7 to 12, they have free cold brew on tap. I was like, sold.
And probably massages coming soon, knowing you. Yeah.
Probably, but hey.
Oh my God. Okay. So what dare can we give them? I don't know, just to start opening them up to this kind of in the flow living. What's your dare? Give us a dare.
My dare is every day find someone who just randomly feeds your spirit and give them something. I don't care if it's a compliment, if it's a
Yes.
dollar bill from your pocket, if it's, a thank you and a bow, if it's you buying their hamburger in line behind you. I don't care who it is, what it is, but just give something to someone in gratitude every day.
Ch-
Even if
That
sometimes it's yourself.
ooh, ooh,
Mhm.
ooh. That's awesome. That's maybe the best dare. Not to compare, but that's one of the best
That's
dares.
him. I mean, that's what I had to do last week when we were going to record. I was like, this is not mine to do today. Today, I'm going to stay in bed and whimper.
No, and let me say that was a teaching too. And I'm just going to share because you gracefully wrote me, and unlike Asian culture, there was no like I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, which is just a part of, sometimes
Right.
my
Yeah.
and it's not like you
It's
were
the
like,
Catholic thing too. Mea culpa,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And it wasn't
My
like you're saying,
fault. My
screw
fault.
you, Faith. That wasn't it. You're just like,
No.
hey, I don't feel well. I'm going to take care of me. I love you. I'll see you next week. I was like, okay, I love you too. But I
Yeah.
had to, you know?
Yeah.
And so we don't have to be sorry to give to ourselves.
Yeah. And don't apologize if your tithe
Oh,
is 25 cents. Do not go, I'm sorry, my tithe is so little. No,
yes.
hi, I am tithing to you. I'm tithing to you out of the $2.50 that I received this week. Here's 25 cents.
Ah,
Thank you for being you.
ah. I know we have to end, but one more question. Are you methodical with that percentage when it comes to the money tithing or no?
Well,
It's a,
I am pretty methodical with my 10%, but
okay. Okay.
because I give all the time, like I'll
Yeah.
just be guided to give my time, to give my
Yeah.
attention. Like if my son wants
Like
my attention
this.
for something,
Okay.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, he was so funny once as a little kid. He kept coming into my office, and I was like, he's like, I need you, I need you, I need you. I said, okay, dude, do you actually need me for something, or do you just want my attention? And he looks at me, he goes, oh, I so just want your attention.
Oh,
And I was like, okay, here's the deal, dude. Give me 10 minutes to finish this thing I'm working on right here, and I will come and give you my undivided attention. So now when we're together, I stop what I'm doing. I mean, I
yeah.
spent 18 months, having to FaceTime him,
Yes.
and, occasionally getting to see them. And I'm just like, you have my undivided attention, dude.
You are teaching me so much. Okay, because my daughter is the same way, and I never had those words to say, do you really need me or do you need my attention?
Yeah. Or do you just want my attention? And him to be so authentic about it, he was just like, I
Oh,
so just want your attention. I was
I
like, I'm
was
in, dude. I'm in. you know.
so,
But it's hard sometimes because we get stuck in that. Oh, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough whatever. And it's like
yes.
all they want is just a moment of art. That's all anyone wants.
Yes. Oh my,
I stop. I am not the fanciest dresser by any means. and
No?
my wife's best friend from college. I don't know. I love the face, the complexion cleanup thingy on the, the
On what?
camera
Oh,
option. I was like, oh, I look fantastic. Look at me.
do they have that on
Oh,
StreamYard?
it's
Anyway,
great. Oh, it
whole
was
other
fabulous. I
talk.
have no makeup on because I gave that up. I gave it
Yeah.
up for Lent one year, never went back.
Hey, you're a beautiful girl. Okay, so
Thank
you're
you. But literally, where were we? I lost track.
we were talking about giving your kid attention, or
Attention.
have we given tithing? Oh my God, girl, I don't know. We'll have to
We were
re
talking about everything,
we were.
but it's about, not being, not withholding,
There we
I think
go.
would be the easiest way to put it. Not withholding from yourself or anybody else,
Yes, yes,
but
yes.
first and foremost, yourself. To just be able to say, hey, this is mine to do today. This is no longer mine. I felt like Forrest Gump when I was on the phone with Mitch and I was just like, I'm closing the publishing company. I'm giving away all the titles. And he was like, what?
But isn't there power in that? You
Oh,
know what?
yeah.
Getting is now the power to say, like, because behind that statement is, I know I'm good. I know
Yeah.
there's more. This is fine.
Hey, and
It's,
it's not even that there's more. Everything's already here.
you're
Everything's
right.
already present. All you
Um,
have to do is say what Janet and I did. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a
Yes,
reliable car?
yes,
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if we
yeah,
could have, something special for Thanksgiving dinner or someone special, and it
yes.
might not be the person you're thinking of,
Uh-huh.
but someone will show up,
Ah,
you know, the things show up.
they
I
do.
mean, we would
They,
just get phone calls. Hey, would you guys need an extra guest room bed? We got this gorgeous queen size top, huge high board thingy
oh my
from
God.
somebody who was moving in with their partner. They're
Ah,
like, we don't have room for two beds. Would you guys like this one? Like, sure.
okay, so is everybody listening? Is everyone getting this? This is so amazing, Paula.
Yeah.
And so, as you
What
guys,
you want is your business. How it shows up, none of your business. None
okay,
ya.
one more time.
What you want is your business. How it shows up is none ya business.
Okay, this is like the
That's my takeaway.
millionth aha. You have your dare. Oh my God. Well, I can't get enough of Paula. So, we're going to have her
I
again and
love
again.
you.
Yes. And so for everyone, as you can tell, there's just a wealth of information and insight and joy and good vibes. So go visit her at paulalanguthryan.com and we'll have them, in the notes. I know, you have so much to share, but we're just going to highlight obviously the book, right? Art of Tithing with the practice, right? That's in there. What is this? Your fifth edition of Bounce Back from Bankruptcy?
Bounce up. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Much needed. Much needed.
Yes, yes. In this climate right now, yes. And also for those of you that just, need a daily practice, she has these amazing face-to-face spiritual meditations. So all of this available on your website. Yes, Paula?
Yes. Which is just my full name.com.
Yes, yes. And we're going to, it'll be on screen and all of that. So just how can I say thank you for your time, Mahalo, for your time, your heart, and for saying yes, because holy crap, you're just like blessing the world left and right. Whether it's your stories, your books, just like your laugh and just like your love. I
Just
love
keep
you.
being you. That's how you can pay me back, man. I love and adore you. Your energy is contagious from the moment I heard your music to every
Ah,
moment I've gotten to spend with you. I remember going to a conference once and you were sitting engaged in a dinner with, I want to say it was Jana Stanfield or something. And I was like, party crashed the table. I was like, I just had to say hello. Like I'm some sort of stalking fan. I was like, okay, go back to your dinner. Bye.
oh my gosh. Well, here's what's funny. That the honest truth is, everybody, I'm going to press end recording soon, but I'm going to chat with her probably for 10 more minutes or try to if she'll give me that time.
As
But
long as you want, baby. We can chat forever. Like I
yay,
said, I've got, what is it? What time is it now?
it is in Hawaii. It is 11:10, almost
Oh,
11:10.
I got another hour and a half I can hang out with you, honey.
You are so sweet. But for our listeners, thank you for, just being here. And hopefully, not hopefully, I know your hearts and your ears have been opened. And we want to say thank you again to you, Paula Langguth Ryan. You are badass and beautiful and all that. So how to end, we just say to everyone, we say, keep flowing. Do you do choreography, Paula?
Keep
Keep
going.
flowing, keep growing. Well, I don't know what a growing is.
Yeah, growing. There we go.
And Michael Gott added this, like, keep knowing. Yeah, just keep knowing. And for your edition, keep giving.
Let's go.
Okay, aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.